Hey guys, I'm Natalia, and this is another video of conversations about energy and some insights and thoughts. So, yesterday, something very interesting happened to me. I've been following my intuition during all my trip around Los Angeles and California, and yesterday, I met someone very interesting that told me a sentence: don't get distracted. It's very easy to get distracted in California, Los Angeles, etc. And that really caught my attention because I've been realizing how easy it is when we are in a place where we are feeling good, when we are happy, and we are having good moments, all sorts of happiness moments, we can get very distracted. And it's funny because that reminds me of this vicious behavior of only changing when we are feeling pain. I mean, when you are in a tough situation, you go and you study whatever, you do whatever you can to go out of that difficult situation. You stay focused because you're feeling pain, or because it's too challenging, or because you're suffering. And this creates the habit, the vicious, the addiction of only changing when things are hard, only moving when we are suffering. And this is a very common behavior that I've seen in people all over the sessions I've made, that I make, and also the people I encounter, and even in myself, that we tend to be in this comfort zone only until we cannot stand it anymore. Something pushes us in a different direction. I There is a quote from a teacher that says that is the ofro of poo. And she says that because it means basically it's smelling bad, it's not good, it's disgusting, but it's warm, so we stay. And this is interesting because, why we need to change only when it's difficult? Why can't we learn through love, through positive experiences? And this is funny because the human brain, opens up more to learning and to different experiences and to new knowledge when we are in a happy state, when we are feeling grateful, when we are connected with ourselves, when we are feeling good, when we are laughing. There are some teachers, for example, that they make their students laugh, and this makes them gather the information better and remember the information better. And this is interesting. And also there is the other, and on the other hand, the human brain also tends to remember more of the negative instead of the positive. And this is something that got me thinking. Why we need to be always searching for difficulties, for obstacles, for our path, instead of just learning and enjoying the moment of growing, enjoying the moment of change, enjoying the moment of progress. And I think this is also connected with the idea that we have that changing is painful, that changing involves going out of comfort. And who said that when you're changing, you need to also go out of comfort? What if you are only comfort when you are changing? What if you learn, or you could rewire your brain and your whole self to actually experience pleasure every time you change? And I think it's interesting because a lot of people who are very successful, they tend to look through the situations when they have to choose a change in their lives, or when they have to make a movement in order to progress, whatever. Um, some people tend to focus a lot more on what they have to lose, and some people tend to focus more on what they have to gain from that situation. And guess what? Who are those that actually enjoy more changing? Yes, people who tend to focus on what they have to gain by changing things. And this goes back to the quote that started this whole thought process, which is, don't get distracted. If when we are experiencing something good, we tend to think that this is it, this is the maximum of happiness that I will experience, this is the top joy that I will have, we tend to get distracted because we don't want to lose that. We don't want to change because we think that change will involve losing this happiness. And what if, instead of focusing on what we have to lose, what if we start to focus on what we have to gain? Or even better, stop looking and feeling and connecting to the situations as if they are good or bad, but just situations and just moments of life. And we keep shifting our focus and our main goal, which is evolution and progress, and this is what we have to gain. It's a different way of phrasing the same narrative or the same perspective of what do I have to gain from that, from shifting. And I think one of the reasons why we tend to get distracted as well is because we don't want to grow at some point. We are like children who don't want to go to sleep at a curfew time, or who don't want to, I don't know, do something like going to school or something like that. And this is where our heart turns out to be our best tool to guide ourselves. Because when we let our hearts guide us, we always know when we are being distracted, when we are choosing the path of suffering instead of the path of love. We always know when we are afraid of losing something instead of looking, oh, what do I have to gain from this? How can I keep on living my purpose, which is evolve? Our heart is our center, and there is this book called The Heart Code, which says that the information from the universe comes first to our heart and then goes up to our brain and then goes to all over our bodies, which means that basically our heart is the first to receive information, is the first to know exactly what we should do or not do, or what signs the universe or the environment around us is telling us. Is it danger? Is it joy? And our heart filters that a little bit before sending to our brain, to our minds. So what if, instead of going and staying all our lives up here, we start to go up here and connect to our first source of true information, and realize if we are getting distracted and lean towards suffering, or if we are connected and going more and more towards our higher self, our evolution, the best gains for us. I'll leave you guys with that thought, and if you have any contribution, please share in the comments below. I really like to exchange with people and know more what they're thinking and how can we learn from each other. Having a nice day there, and see you when I see you.